Hi guys, it's Angus here at Fitness Evolution at Burnley College. I'm going to be taking your session today. Hope you're all doing well. I know you've had quite a few sessions up to now, so I hope you're starting to see some benefits from it. Hope you're all enjoying it. So today's session is going to run pretty similar to the other ones. We'll go through mobility to start with, pre-activation, core, and then into your strength work. If you do have any equipment, dumbbells, kettlebells, barbell, etc., please use it where it's appropriate. I'll mention as we go along which equipment is appropriate when. Even if you're just using bottles of water or a dowel or broomstick, something along those lines, that'll help greatly. Okay, so also just one point before we get started, if you are carrying any injuries, just be careful. Obviously you don't want to make those injuries any worse. I understand how eager you are to get back training and whatever, and you don't want to lose what you've got, but you'll make it worse if you're just going to aggravate a current injury. So amend it where you can, but if you can't do it, just don't do it, okay? So we'll get started. So into our mobility, we're starting off with something called T-spine rotations. So if you've got a dowel or a broomstick, grab it now, and also a foam roller would be great. So you just need a chair to sit on or a bench or something. You're gonna pop the dowel, pop the foam roller just between your legs. This is there as a prompt, okay? Because we don't want to be rotating our hips. You'll see why in a second. So dowel just goes on your back. You keep that chest up, so really squeeze that foam roller together. Okay, so chest stays up. All you're gonna do, you're gonna rotate as far as you can, keeping those hips in line, so don't let them follow you over. So rotate as far as you can. Then when you got to the furthest point, just gonna dip, back up, center, and then over to the other side. So just really fight the urge to rotate those hips, okay? That's why this is there. As you get more advanced at it, you could potentially take the foam roller away, but it's a good starting point to use. And it's good to keep in there throughout, really. So once you've done that, we're going into something called scorpions. So you look like a scorpion while you're doing it. That's pretty much why they call this. So you lie down, chest on the floor, head facing the floor but not resting on the floor, palms out to your sides. With your right foot, you're gonna get as close to your left hand as you can, okay? So just same on the other side then. So keep it slow and controlled. Don't do it too quickly, and just go as close to that hand as you can. Really fight to improve that mobility. You're going to do 5 each side. Then, once you've done that, you're into something called arabesque into lunge. So you might be a little bit wobbly if you haven't done this before for the first couple, but you get into it. So on one leg, other leg goes back as far as you can. Try and keep that chest up, arms out to your sides. Just keep that control, okay? As low as you can, and then lunge it out, and then you're onto the other leg. So same again, that back leg goes as far back as you can, and lunge like so, nice and deep into that lunge. So you're going to do 6 each side. Once you've done that, straight back to the start into the T-spine rotations. So then once you've done 2 rounds of mobility, you're into your pre-activation work, and you're going to need dumbbells or 2 bottles of water for this first exercise. We're going to do something called Dane Press. So your elbows stick to your sides, forearms straight out in front. Okay, what you're going to do, you're going to raise your elbows to the sides, you're going to raise your wrists, and then you're going to press above your head, fully extending those arms. Okay, so it takes a little bit to get used to the coordination, so I'll go through that again. So you raise those elbows to the side, raise those wrists, press down the way you came, but keep it slow and controlled, okay? So you're going to do 8 reps of that. So once you've completed 8 reps of Dane Press, just to loosen those shoulders off, get that blood flow into the shoulders, you're going to do single leg calf raises. So for this, if you've got somewhere to hold on to, I'd recommend using it, because it's not strictly speaking a balance test. We're just trying to activate those calf muscles, get them working. So also, if you have a step of any sorts, just so your heel can go a little bit lower and you can increase that range of motion, please use that. But on the floor, it's fine if not, okay? So what you're gonna do, you're just gonna come up onto your toe, hold for about a second at the top, and control down. So come up, control down. So once you've done 20 on one side, you're straight onto the other side, 20 on that side. Then you're moving into something called Dowel Dislocates. So we're back to our broomstick. Okay, so you have your arms fully straight, no bend at the elbows, chest stays up, okay, and you go all the way back behind you, all the way down at the front. Okay, so I'll show you that again, all the way back, all the way down. So what we don't want to see is arms bending. So when you get there, you don't want to be bending your arms. Same on the way back, which is where most people tend to do it. They tend to bend their elbows on the way back. Don't want to see that. If you're really struggling, if you're right at the end of your broomstick and you still can't quite do it, you're going to need something a little bit longer or something elastic like a resistance band. Try that. So maybe try a long towel or a scarf, something like that, but keep the tension in it so it's nice and tight, and you'll still get like a good stretch from that, and you can work your way up to the broomstick. If you're finding the broomstick pretty comfortable, just walk your hands in a little bit, same principle, all the way back, all the way forward, okay? Slow and controlled. Okay, so you do 12 of those, and then once you completed that, you're back into the Dane Press, so you pick those dumbbells up or water balls, back into that for another round of pre-activation. So once you've done your pre-activation, you're moving into your core, and for your core, we've got 4-point stabilisation today. So I believe you did that a couple of weeks ago, so you should be familiar with how it runs. You're going to do 60 seconds per exercise, 15 seconds rest, and you've got 2 rounds, okay? So the exercises are plank, side plank, other side plank, and into hip bridge. So I'll just demonstrate the movement. So plank, you want to make sure you're squeezing those glutes, okay? You've got those hips in line, okay? You don't want to have your hips too high or too low. You want to make sure you're squeezing those glutes. If in doubt, squeeze those glutes, okay? And tuck that pelvis under. So once you've done 60 seconds, you'd rest 15, then you'd be into side plank. So side plank, elbow directly beneath your shoulder, bend at the knees, and then when you're ready, straighten out those legs, keep those hips in line, so don't have one in front of the other, keep them nice and square, squeeze those glutes again. Hold that for 60 seconds. So after the 60 seconds, you'd rest, then you'd be onto the other side. You'd do 60 seconds on the other side, and then you'd be into a hip bridge. So for this, lie down on your back. You can have your arms across your chest or on the floor, up to you. And all you do, thrust those hips upwards, squeeze those glutes, so squeeze your bum. If you're feeling it in your hamstrings more than your glutes, then you just walk those feet towards you a little bit more, okay? Just keep that tension on your glutes. So you keep that tension for 60 seconds, you relax for 15, then you'll be back into the plank for another round, okay? Then once you complete that second round, you're into your strength work. So for the first exercise on strength, you need a dumbbell or a bottle of water. So we're going to do something called Dumbbel Snatch. So for this, you need your chest up, bend at the knees, so you got that dumbbell just hanging roughly between your knees. Okay, and then all you're going to do, just going to use the power. All the power comes from your legs, okay? So what you're doing, you're going up into triple extension, and then you're jumping it upwards. So triple extension, extending the ankle, knee, and hip to produce that power to get that weight up there, okay? It's not an upper body movement. Your upper body is just there to stabilize it, okay? So I'll just show you that again. Keep that chest up. Okay, really slam those feet down. When those feet are slamming down on the floor, you want that arm to have caught that weight fully extended, okay? So I'll just show you one more time. It's kind of like a jump, but you're going triple extension and keeping that dumbbell close to you. You're not swinging it out, it's coming up and you're dropping under, okay? So if that's something you're quite new to, start really light, work on technique, okay? If you're pretty comfortable with it, push the weight up by all means, but only if you've got that experience and the technique is good. So you do 4 sets of 5 reps of that, rest for about a minute in between each set. Make sure you do one hand then the other. Then you'll be going into a superset of Goblet Squat or Prisoner Squat if you don't have a dumbbell, and Spiderman Press Ups. So we'll do the Goblet Squat first. So dumbbells are great for these, kettlebells. Okay, so set your stance, normal squat stance, weight through your heel, little toe, big toe, palms holding the dumbbell, palms facing upwards, keep that chest up, go nice and deep into that squat. Really drive those knees out. Okay, so you're going to do 6 reps of that. So if you've only got 4 kilogram dumbbells or something like that, 6 reps might be a little bit low, so common sense with it, maybe increase the reps a little bit if you feel you can. And also, if you don't have a dumbbell, prisoner squat instead. So everything's the same, you just got your hands behind your head and you're going to increase those reps a little bit, drive those knees out, brace that core. Okay, then you're into Spiderman Press Ups. So you'll be performing 8 reps of this. So similar to regular press ups, you're just bringing that knee up to the side. So as you go down, the knee comes up. Okay, so I just did 4 then. Each time you do a press up, it counts as 1. So 8 of those. Then you'd rest 45 seconds to a minute. Then you'd be back into the goblet squats. So 4 sets of those. Then once you've done that, you're into stiff leg deadlifts and lunges to finish off. So for the stiff leg deadlifts, grab some dumbbells or a barbell. So dumbbell, barbell, even kettlebell. Okay, slight bend at your knees. You can use bottles of water as well instead of dumbbells. So slight bend at your knees, chest stays up. Okay, then all you're doing, hinging at the hips. So you're keeping that chest up. Go up to about parallel to the floor. Up, squeeze the glutes at the top. So I'll just show you that from the side. We don't want any rounding in the back. Keep that tension in your upper back. So slight bend of the knees, hinge at those hips. Squeeze the glutes at the top. So if you don't have dumbbells or any equipment, water bottles will be great, but you could potentially, if you're new to the movement and you're struggling with that technique, it's always good to use a dowel. Same principle, slight bend of the knees, hinge at the hips, just practice, but slow everything down. So like 5 seconds down, a 5-second hold at the bottom, and then 5 seconds back up, just to get used to how it feels. Because it can be quite a challenging thing to learn how to hinge correctly, and you don't want to do yourself any injuries. So then, final exercise, we're into lunges. So dumbbells if you've got them, if not, grab a barbell, pop that barbell on your back, or you could even, if you've just got one dumbbell or a kettlebell, hold it like you did with the goblet squat while you're doing the lunges. Just forward lunges, chest up, front leg takes that weight, okay, back knee, about an inch or so off the floor. We don't want that knee bouncing off the floor because it can throw you off balance. Keep it under control. Okay? So guys, that's the workout. Hope you all enjoyed that. Hope you worked hard, and I'll see you again next time. Take care.